Welcome back, everyone, to Blunder
Welcome
Dungeon.
back.
This is episode 5. Technically, last week we had our total party kill episode, but I'm counting that as different episodes. So,
Makes sense.
this is episode 5, even though that was our 5th podcast that we put out. Technically,
It's a spinoff.
yeah, there's a little multiverse. I am Cam. I'm the DM, and I'm here with Austin Woolsey
Benny C.
and Paris.
Allison Chains.
And this is a special episode because in the past, let's say 3 episodes since the 2 groups were separated, we've had like half the episode was Benny and Allison, and half the episode was Knack, Mavros, and Gradient. But this episode is all Benny and Allison.
They were let go.
They've been
Killed.
Let go and then killed.
yeah, we put them on performance improvement plans, and then we fired them.
Is that a severance thing? That sounds like a severance thing.
Performance, well, kind of. You put somebody on a performance improvement plan so that when you fire them, you don't have to pay them severance. It's the best. It's classic corporate America hacks. But let's get into it, because this is a session that it could go in any direction. We could need to split this. We could need to split this into 2 different recordings, or we could be done in an hour. So let's see what happens. But first, let's get into a recap. So last time on Blunder Dungeon, Benny and Allison started out waking up in the dining tent in the clan of the Hidden Oasis. You both exited the tent to find Violet talking to Emerald while prepping her wagon for the trip to Voluka. They asked y'all if you wanted to bring Barry along, or if it would be better to keep him at the camp where he could defend the clan, where he could help defend the clan. You opted to bring him along and set off into the desert on the way to Voluka to help Violet free Bird from the jail, and to get to the southeastern point of the Northern Wastes, where Violet told y'all you could sail across the ocean to or across like the channel that's between the Northern Wastes and the mainland of Chenab. And eventually on your way to Voluka, Violet told you all that she had something to show you and took you to a shack in the middle of the desert. She said that she hadn't been totally truthful about where she got the infinite gourd, and that instead of getting it in Voluka, she had gotten it from an old woman in this shack. Allison, you sent Bax into the shack, who was promptly attacked and killed by something that looked like a raven. The rest of you entered the shack and were attacked by the very same raven. And after knocking Benny out, the raven was killed in a single blow from Barry and revealed itself to be an imp. The old woman appeared in the corner and told you all that you were the chosen and that you were destined to bring the change, quote unquote, to the realm.
That's right.
She said that to do so, you would have to find Mavros, Knack, and Gradient. She also allowed you to ask her one question each. Benny asked how you could find your companions, and she casted a spell. Benny felt snow beneath his feet, heard pickaxes striking stone, and felt wet. Allison asked what they could do. Allison asked what they should do when they find them, and she felt air rushing past her, and saw the glowing gold figure that she saw when being transported from Goshthi to the Northern Wastes. As y'all left the shack, Allison stayed behind to ask the woman what happened to her father. The woman casted another spell, but stopped immediately, looking shocked by what she saw. She told Allison that she could not help her and disappeared. You all then hopped back in the wagon and continued for Voluka. And that's where we are now. So basically, we finished off with y'all setting off into the desert last time after the shack. And we're going to do a quick time jump. It's nighttime now of that same day.
Okay.
You traveled the whole day, slowly bumping over dunes and rocks. The desert night feels just like it did the first night you slept in the open desert. Cool, gentle breezes blow sand against the sides of the wagon. Both of you are sitting beside the wagon in the sand with Barry and Violet. There's some salt pork sizzling on a pan over a campfire. And while you're sitting here, is there anything you want to talk about? Anything you want to say?
Allie,
Allison doesn't respond.
son. Allie's son. I just think it's a little... We've kind of been brushing past how weird the past couple of days have been. This is really weird. Like, this is really strange.
Yeah, I guess you're
So
right.
many weird things are happening in such a short amount of time.
I felt really sneaky lately.
What? like you're past your bedtime, you're trying to steal a cookie?
Yeah, the stealing part, I think.
Cool. What does that feel like?
I don't know. I guess I just don't really feel like myself.
Do you feel like it's the influence of being surrounded by so many criminals?
Maybe. Wait, who's the...
Benny pats his pockets, looking for his wallet.
Yeah, Violet finishes spooning up your salt pork on your plate and hands it to you.
Oh, thank you.
Oh, thanks.
Yeah.
Benny feels a little guilty.
Okay.
It's so strange. I'm starting to think that, and don't call me crazy, that Yimmy might not be a good person. The TV host?
I mean, yes, I agree if they sent us here. But do you think they did it? Or do you think...
Just logically speaking, I don't know. I kind of feel that same feeling that you're feeling, that not sneaky, but my mind is getting sharper. Especially when we have that taste in our mouth. Something is happening, and I feel like my mind is just moving so fast lately. I can hardly keep track of it, but all these signs of all this strange stuff had one original source, and I think it's either Yimmy or the judges, and definitely something to do with being poked.
But why?
Well, that's what I can't figure out. But I guess now we at least have some direction in where we're trying to go, and whenever that witch answered my question, I felt the cold beneath my feet, and I have to assume that that's where our buddies are.
Yeah. I don't know. I didn't really like her very much.
The witch?
Yeah, she's kind of secretive, and
I thought you guys would get along. You're like the same age.
I guess.
Really? You guess?
I don't know. I just think that she kept a lot from us, and I feel like, I guess I kind of think that, and Allison gets a little quieter and leans over to Benny and says, I kind of feel like everyone's in on it.
Oh.
Like they all know why we're doing this.
Are you
But they won't tell
are you
us.
talking? You're purposely talking so that Violet and Barry wouldn't be able to hear you.
Yeah.
Okay, I will say Violet has been like kind of just listen, like y'all are sitting around a campfire basically, like in a circle. So like Violet has been just like y'all have gathered that she's been very interested and confused as well by your situation. But like she does kind of when you whisper to Benny, she kind of realizes she's not supposed to be listening to this, and she kind of like starts looking off into the distance.
Kind of like a bad extra.
Yeah.
Benny kind of looks up to the stars, and he's thinking about how much the show used to mean to him, and thinking about the town Magivision set that everyone would crowd around. And I think he's sharing this with Allison. We used to crowd around the town Magivision set, and we would all watch Chanam Wants You, and we knew the theme song, and we'd say it with Yimmy, and Yimmy just seemed like such a cool guy, and every time he said Chanam Wants You, I felt like he was talking to me. But I guess maybe the lesson here is never meet your heroes. But
are you saying this just to Violet, or are you speaking, or just to Allison? Or are you speaking loudly again?
I think I was speaking loudly.
Okay, Violet kind of looks at you, Benny, and says, "So this show is a big deal, huh?"
Oh yeah, it's like season 1 of American Idol.
Right.
I've always said this.
Violet just like assumes that that's something that she also wouldn't know about, because she also doesn't know about Sparkleworks or Chanam Wants You.
It really gives power to the small folk and the outcasts of society to go into the big city and make a name for themselves and their communities. It's really an uplifting thing.
But did you ever... What happened in the show? I remember that I saw, like, the winners and things like that, but I don't remember, like, why... Like, what happened during the show?
I think... Can I give, like, a history
Yeah,
check?
Benny, you haven't done this yet, but give me a history check. Allison failed the history check in the first episode.
Do I need to check my modifier? That's a 3.
A 3. Okay. Benny, you come to the same conclusion that Allison and Gradient have both come to, which is that these 2 finalists, Lam Blazestar and Rabade Underrot, were like big celebrities, because they made it to the final of this massive cultural phenomenon. But you don't really remember it coming to a natural conclusion. And you don't remember what happened at the end. You also realize that you haven't heard anything about either of them since the first season ended.
I'm trying my hardest to remember, and I guess it's kind of like Game of Thrones. It's just the ending just didn't even happen. I don't know. That's really strange.
The witch said that we were gonna change something. And I don't... Do you want things to change back home?
Well, I've been thinking about that. When I came to the audition, my goal, my wish was just going to be, if I won, was just going to be to have a better bass clarinet.
Mm.
But I'm kind of seeing people around me like Mavros, and the people of the clan of the Hidden Oasis, how happy they are with just water. And kind of learning the world is a little bit bigger than band class.
Mm.
So I don't know. I don't know if I want the world to change or not, because it's pretty good for me. But it could definitely be better for other people too.
Allison's just gonna sit back and eat some salt pork.
Cool.
Benny kind of looks up at the skies and stares at the stars.
Cool. The rest of the night kind of moves along. At one point, Violet does look at both of you and say, well, we should probably go to bed soon. We should make it to Valuka by around nightfall tomorrow. I think it might be good for me to tell you a little bit about it, just so you know what we're getting into. Does that make sense? Do you have any specific questions about it? I can give you just the lowdown. I mean, you probably don't know anything about it at all. But it's honestly not as much of a city as it is for a hub for trade. Most people who live here in the Northern Wastes, like us, are nomadic, so they don't settle down.
I heard Valuka got traded.
Nice. But the people here, they don't settle down in a centralized place to live. The people who live in the city are mostly people who set up permanent shops there for the nomads who come through looking to stock up on supplies. So it's not very big, but as far as the Northern Wastes go, it's as much of a city as we really have.
Okay, well, I'm always a little out of my element in a bigger city, but I'm sure we'll be fine if the four of us stick together.
And we're gonna save Bird?
That's the goal.
Where is he?
I honestly don't know. If I had to guess, I'd say that he's being held at the palace. That's where Graz and his goons live. And I heard that's where they take people who well, I'll start from the beginning here, because you also probably don't know who Graz is. He's this lizard folk guy who's set up camp in the city over the past couple years. And before him, it was kind of a community in Valuka, right? Everyone looked out for each other, and you had faith that no one was ripping you off with their prices, like an honor system. Graz took advantage of that. He and his group were stronger than everyone else, and if you resisted, you'd disappear. They started charging taxes for everyone who entered the city, but obviously no one could afford them, so lots of people started sneaking in. And things got a little desperate, and vibes have been off in Valuka ever since. So if I had to guess, we usually sneak in, Bird and I, because we don't want to pay the entry fee. We're usually fine, but if I had to guess, Bird probably got caught without papers, like the papers that they give you when you've paid the toll to get in, and they said that he was stealing, and they took him to the palace, if I had to guess.
Wow, I thought Bird was a criminal, but we might have to break the law that's unjust. Two wrongs make a right, Allie. Son.
Allison looks in the other direction, kind of off, just ignoring Benny.
Okay. And then we'll bring him to the real court.
Right. Yeah, that's right, Benny.
Benny salutes.
She looks at Allison and says, if y'all don't have any other questions, we can get some rest, but just let me know.
I mean, it makes sense, I think. Are we going to be able to get into the city?
It depends. It's been a long time since I've paid the toll to get in, so I don't really know what the prices are right now. Last time I went in, it was a gold piece per person.
Okay.
But it could be more now. Who knows?
Okay.
Barry and I don't have any gold, and Barry just kind of shakes his head. And Violet says, but if y'all wanted to pay, we could go in through the front, or we could sneak in through the sides.
Let's just scope it out once we get there, and see. You've been feeling a little sneaky lately. Maybe it's time to put that to the test.
Just a little.
Okay, yeah, that sounds good. So
Allison steals Benny's wallet.
Do you really?
Do you have a wallet?
Yes.
yeah, give me your, I guess, a sleight of hand check, Allison.
Okay. Nat one.
Benny, Allison, what do you have on your body at all times?
I have obviously I have a jacket with a couple extra reeds in in pockets, and I have my I have a sack of 19 gold. I obviously have my bass clarinet. And then my clothes.
I'm gonna say, Allison, you reach try to reach into one of Benny's pockets for his wherever he keeps his gold, and you are met with a wet
Gross.
bag of reeds, so moist and moldy.
Gross.
Can Benny is pretending not to notice, even though it's so fumbling and there's reeds all over the floor. He's really trying to give this to Allison.
Allison pulls just one of them at least out and kind of looks at it successfully, like she did a good job.
Okay.
She got something.
Yeah, you'll see Violet and Barry are kind of setting up their bed rolls for the night.
Well, I think I'm gonna call it a night and maybe dream about some fish again.
Okay. Have good sleep, Benny.
Thanks. Sweet dreams.
Go to bed.
Cool. I'm gonna say y'all go to bed. You get a long rest. You kind of take turns keeping watch throughout the night. And then you wake up the next morning. You get a long rest. So make sure to mark that down.
Rad.
And you get going pretty much right away. Back in the wagon. Is there anything y'all want to do while you travel? Specific things that you're doing with your hands or to pass the time, things that you're talking about?
I don't have Tinkerer's tools, right? I just have Thieves' tools.
You have Thieves' tools, yeah, which can be used as an artificer focus.
Oh, okay. I think I'm going to just kind of fiddle around. Maybe I'm just carving, whittling something with wood, but just working with my hands. Just kind of getting to know these tools a little bit.
Cool. Anything for you, Allison?
No. I'll just say I'll be watching Benny.
Cool. I'm
gonna try to carve backs.
Okay, give me a what would that be? Either maybe a performance or a sleight of hand check?
Okay, I have a +6 to performance, a +0 to sleight of hand.
Okay, give me a performance check.
That's a 23.
Whoa.
You do an excellent job. Allison, you see that Benny really has gotten good with his hands, and he carves a pretty spitting image of backs.
Whoa. I didn't even think I was this good.
That's beautiful, Benny.
Yeah. And Benny just tosses it over his shoulder.
Out of the wagon? Or is it still in the wagon? Okay, yeah.
Allison sends Bax to go pick it up.
Bax goes and grabs the carving and gives it back to you, Allison.
I pocket it and smile at Benny.
Okay. Cool. So y'all travel through the day, and it is dark now. And from afar, you can see glimpses of the lights of Valuka over the dunes. The town is a collection of small shops and homes with one haphazardly built wooden castle towards the back of the town. You can guess that that is like the quote unquote palace that Violet told you, where Graz, the lizard folk, has constructed like his base of operations. There's a wall of tall wooden stakes that jut out of the sand, and they provide a barrier. But even from here, you can see that the construction of the wall also looks rushed, as some of the stakes are leaning at various angles and heights. You can see one entrance to the town that appears to be guarded by a lizard folk in leather armor holding a spear. Violet kind of stops the wagon at the top of this dune. And you're still in the dark. You're in the darkness, so you can kind of assume that the lizard folk can't see you from where you are, but because of the lights of the town, you can see the town. And Violet says, "We usually leave the wagon outside by the wall and either sneak over the wall or through some kind of hole that we can find. But if y'all want to try something different, we can."
Well, there's just one guard, right?
Yeah, there's one guard.
Well, I could disguise myself. Perhaps as we could do the old prisoner trick. I could pretend to be Bird and you guys are bringing him back.
Violet, are all the gods, are they like lizard folk, or are there lots of different?
From what I've seen, his whole group is their lizard folk.
Oh, perfect. I'll just be a lizard folk, and I'll have wrangled you guys in.
Okay.
What so what you're gonna be?
I'm gonna disguise self.
Okay.
Let me read what that entails.
Cool.
So we can see how ridiculous this is gonna be.
I think it's pretty like.
You can seem 1 foot shorter, taller.
What's your height?
I believe it's halfling height. It's like 3 feet.
So okay. Benny,
Because if this hasn't been clear before, I'm like a pygmy hippo folk. Like I'm still
yeah.
I'm not huge. I'm still very.
You
short.
can't change your body type.
Yeah.
I just have the same basic arrangement of limbs.
Benny and Allison, both of you give me nature checks.
16.
11.
Allison, lizard folk are 6 to 7 feet tall, usually.
Benny, what if maybe we should try the hole first, and then if that doesn't work, we can try your plan. Okay. I think that you'd be a very convincing lizard folk, but I think that it might, I'm going to lean in and whisper, it might hurt Violet's feelings if we, don't do her plan.
Ah, okay. I'm still going to be a lizard, though, and I poof and I change into a little lizard.
Awesome.
Okay. You are a 4 foot tall lizard folk.
Perfect.
How long does the spell last?
I'm kind of like a chubby little gecko.
Yeah. How long does the spell last?
1 hour.
And is it concentration?
Awesome.
Doesn't say.
I don't think so.
Really?
To discern that you are disguised, a creature can use its action to inspect your appearance and must succeed on an intelligence or investigation check against your spell save DC.
Oh, yeah.
Doesn't say anything about concentration.
Sweet. So you are lizard folk. It will last for 1 hour. So Violet says, okay, so if we're gonna try to sneak in, we probably shouldn't obviously try to sneak in through the front. We should go to one of the sides or the back, wherever y'all want to go.
Well, we're trying to get to the back, right? That's
where if he was anywhere, that's where I would assume he would be.
okay.
I don't know for sure, but
let's go there.
Yes.
okay.
Benny licks an eyeball.
It's so good, Benny. It's so good.
Yes.
Cool. So, y'all, Violet kind of steers the wagon around, goes down the dunes to block the wagon from the view of the front of Voluka so that y'all don't get spotted. Goes around to the back of the town.
I'm gonna stop everyone and say, what if we could start just a little fire on the side and try and draw people away?
Ooh.
Just a little one.
I see that sneaky feeling.
Violet says, I mean, yeah, that could work for sure. If that's what you want to do. And Barry kind of chuckles and goes, that'd be pretty awesome.
Yes.
Okay, I actually don't know if I could start a fire. Let me see. Do I have
Yeah.
it says I have a tinder box. I have oil.
I can yeah, if you have oil and a tinderbox, I'm sure we can start one. I also I can do grease too if you need.
I think the oil and tinder box will work.
So is a tinderbox like matches, basically?
I assume so. It just says it's part of a tinderbox is a small container holding flint.
Oh,
flint,
cool.
Steel, and tinder.
Fire, steel, and tinder.
Yes.
Usually dry cloth soaked in oil.
Oh, yeah. So I would say that you would, not even having to make a survival check, you'd be able to start a fire.
Cool.
Plus, Violet's there. She could start one too. So where do y'all want to start the fire?
I think maybe let's do it. I think we should do it at the side. So then they.
Yes. The side.
Which side do you want to start it at?
The left side.
Okay, cool. So Violet, y'all were going around the left side to the back. So Violet kind of stops the camels. Kind of hides the wagon behind a dune and says, all right, she says, I should keep the wagon ready, right? So that we can pull off.
Yes. I'm just a little one.
Yeah, that makes sense.
Right?
Yeah.
The whole town is made of wood.
Yeah. Okay.
So she pulls the wagon up to the side, like beside the wall. Y'all are kind of, I'll say 20 feet from the wall right now, 30 feet.
Okay.
And she says, all right, well, I'll stay in here. Who's getting out and starting the fire?
I will.
Okay, just Allison, or is Benny going to go too?
Benny's watching, sitting on like a little part of the wagon, looking like Jeff Probst.
Okay. Yeah.
Forearms just bulging.
Cool.
Awesome.
Yeah, Benny's rolled up his sleeves. Allison.
He's unbuttoned a couple buttons.
Yeah. Cool. So Allison, you're going out alone to the wall?
Yeah. Did you say you said wooden stakes and then in between the stakes, is it all wood?
So I'm about to tell you. Don't worry. So you approach the left side of the wall and you notice it's all made of wood. This whole wall is like big wooden stakes in the ground. There are gaps everywhere. And I would say that give me an investigation check.
Okay.
as you look at it.
11.
11. I'll say that you do think that if you started a fire, it would catch. It might even spread. The buildings are probably another good 30, 45 feet from the wall. Do you get a sense that if you started a fire on the wall, it wouldn't necessarily jump, as long as it didn't get too big? Yeah. You also see the area that you approach, Allison. You see through this gap in the wall some building tools that have been left out in the sand. There's a saw, a hammer, and some rope, and a couple of large wooden stakes just laying on the ground. It kind of seems like a building project that just got abandoned there on the sand. The gap in the fence is too small for any person of your size to fit through, and the tools are just out of arm's reach. You also see a little bit beyond, like the building closest to you, has some windows. There's warm light that spills from inside, and you hear like raucous noise seeping through the walls, even to where you are, by the wall, and you hear some like smashing of glass and stuff.
Okay,
but that's what you see.
Can I send Bax to well, first I'm gonna send, how heavy would you say this saw is? Like, could Bax carry it?
How many pounds can Bax carry?
Let me see.
I'd say the saw is 2 pounds. Good. I'd say, I think Bax is like the size of a cat, basically.
Yeah.
I think Bax would be able to hold a saw.
Okay.
Just based on...
Sorry.
That's okay.
Okay, I'm going to send Bax over first to get the saw and to drop it in my hands.
So, how does Bax, work? What's Bax's size, first off? Does he have a size stat or anything?
Let me look up.
Tiny, small, medium?
I think it was small, but...
Small. Is Bax fully flesh? Can Bax go through walls?
Oh. I don't think he can go through walls.
Okay. I'm going to say that
he's flesh.
I'm going to say Bax can't fit through this gap.
Gotcha. Can he fly over? Or?
Yeah.
Okay. Okay, sorry, I've got a sheet pulled up now.
That's okay.
Find familiar, which that's what it is, right?
Yeah.
A spirit that takes an animal form.
It's a little different because it's
a little different with Warlock.
It should be similar rules, but
it has the stats of the chosen form.
Mm-hmm. See through their eyes, hear what they hear. Oh, I'm deaf and blind while I'm seeing through backs. That's good
okay.
to know.
I'm assuming it means when it says it has the statistics of the chosen form, it is just that animal.
Yeah. That animal, yeah. Okay, sorry. I'll send him flying. I'm gonna send Bax to fly over and pick up the saw.
Okay. Got it. I'm going to say there's no one around, so Bax doesn't have to make a stealth check or anything. But yeah, and so Bax flies down, grabs the saw, and flies back to you successfully.
Okay. And then I'm going to motion for Bax to go get a closer look at the house that was making all the noise.
Okay. And are you going to look through Bax's
yes.
eyes? Got it. So Bax flies up. Where exactly do you want him to go? So this building, the back of it is facing towards you, basically. That's what you're closest to, is the back.
Okay.
And there's some windows in the back and along the side as well.
Okay, I'll have him go to the back window.
Okay. Bax goes to the back window, and this is what he sees.
Yeah.
He sees into a tavern. Y'all aren't here. He sees into a tavern. There are 3 lizard folk sitting at the bar. They're shouting and laughing at a tiefling bartender who's doing his best to avoid the glasses full of ale that they're throwing at him. There are a few other patrons who are sitting at tables in the back, and their eyes are carefully avoiding what's happening at the bar. And Bax is kind of peeking through the window. I'm going to say, give me a stealth check with advantage for Bax as he's looking through the window.
Would I use?
Yeah.
So that would be 19.
19.
Oh,
cool.
wait, sorry. That's just, 19.
Cool. Bax is undetected, peering over this ledge into the bar. You hear through Bax, you hear one of them yell, 2 points if you get his head. And then another one says, I hit his head a second ago. You can't just make up rules as you go. And they continue to throw glasses at the bartender. And that is what Bax sees.
Okay. I'll Bax fly back to me.
Okay.
And I'll go back to the to everyone else.
Okay.
Guys, I want to free Bird, but I think we should help. There's these lizard people and they're being awful, and I think we should go help first. We could still start a fire.
I kind of think that if the group that has power is the lizard folk, then starting a fire should quite literally light a fire under them and distract them. And then we could help whoever needs help.
I think we should try, but they seemed pretty wasted. But let's what if we start the fire and then try and I got this, and I'll hold up the axe or the saw. And we can cut through and go in, and then maybe the fire will draw them out, and if not, we'll go help.
Can I see the saw?
You want me to give it to you?
Yeah, just for a second.
Why?
I'm gonna. I grab the saw.
Do you let him?
Allison, let's go.
Okay.
I play the saw like as if it was a musical instrument, and
I knew it.
I'm giving Allison bardic inspiration, whether she likes it or not.
Okay. Give me a performance check with the saw to see how good you are.
Like a squeaking violin sound.
Wah 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 wah. That is a. As you can tell from that, that's a 22 performance.
Wow. Yeah, he's pretty good, Allison. And you do feel a little inspired by this.
Yeah. I'll take that inspiration, and I'm going to go start dumping oil. Like, I'm going to dump it, like, down. I'm going to start, like, pretty far away, like, down the wall, like, towards the front. And then I want to spread it all the way until we get, like, not like probably there.
Okay.
So it's like a little bit far from the tavern, but just along the front edge.
Cool.
And then I'm gonna like tear a piece of cloth and light it.
Describe to me how you're pouring the oil, where on the fence, how much you're pouring.
I'm gonna pour it. I'm gonna like splash it along the wall of the fence as I walked.
And your goal is it seems like it's to create like continuous lines. You can light it from one point and it ignites from that point on, right?
Yes, and actually, can I also can I do a strength or something, or I can use the saw? But I want to rip a couple of boards down to make like a gap so that the fire will stop. Like, there'll be a gap where the fire's not happening.
Yeah, sure. I will say that since the closest lizard folk to you are distracted, give me a stealth check with advantage as you do that to not draw any attention to yourself.
Sure.
It could be stealth or sleight of hand.
I'll do stealth. 15?
15? Yeah, okay. succeeds. Nobody seems to be on to you. Are you lighting this fire?
I'll hold out the cloth and look for confirmation to the team.
Benny salutes.
I drop it.
Okay, you drop it.
Benny turns around and runs towards the camera in slow motion.
It whoosh, like this line of fire goes across, like basically ignites in a line down the fence. It's significant. Like, it's not like you're starting like a little campfire. Like you've lit a section of this wall on fire. It hasn't like blazed into an inferno yet, but there is. You've lit a line of dry wooden. You've basically lit a long dry wooden wall on fire. So you get the sense that this could build. Are y'all booking it?
I want to.
Yeah,
I
go
think. Can we? I'll go back to Violet. Violet, can we hide the carriage somewhere?
Yeah, we definitely can. Should we hide it now on this side of the wall, or do you want to go to the back?
I think we need to go.
Oh well, I think we need to just run in. What if you want to sneak in through the back and then come back to the bar? I want to help the guy at the tavern.
We can help him, but I think this.
Don't go through the fire.
Yeah, I think people are gonna be here like now. Like we need to go.
Okay, we'll go.
My
So
eyebrows, and I start I start feeling where my eyebrows.
But he's instantly regretting this.
They're gone. They're gone.
So are you?
I never had eyebrows.
You're jumping into the wagon and going?
Yes, book it.
Yeah, okay, I'll run and jump into the wagon.
Okay. I'm going to ask y'all, what do you think is faster, running or being in like a camel-drawn wagon?
I would think running.
Benny's instinct was to hop into the into the wagon. He is nervous. He is scared. He turns to Allison and he says, I was lying before. I actually did one time steal a cookie past bedtime, and this is exactly what it felt like.
I think as we're moving like quite slow, I'll turn to the party and be like, maybe we should hide this and just run.
Okay. Cool. What do you think, Benny?
Whatever you think. You're the criminal.
You said that we could light the fire. Okay, let's go. Let's just hide and then run.
Okay. So you're Violet says, okay. And she turns the reins. Y'all go up this dune. Roll me a luck check. Allison, because this is your plan.
Nat 20.
Oh, nice. Okay. You're going up the dune. You crest and you go down. And I'm going to say that you haven't heard any commotion yet about the wall. Y'all spill out of the wagon. And now you and y'all and Violet and Barry are on foot. What do you want to do?
Were we running to the back? Or were we hiding?
We've now hidden the cart.
Yeah.
I see.
Let's Barry.
Yeah?
Carry me.
Okay.
I hop on his
He grabs
shoulders.
you. And so he says, "Where to?"
The back.
Okay. And Barry starts running, Violet kind of looks at you, Allison, questioningly.
I guess we follow.
Okay, let's go. And y'all start running to the back. You make it there. You start to hear voices shouting. And you can assume that you've stirred up some commotion with the fire. Now you're in the back of the wall, close to the palace. The wall here seems well built and sturdy, but you can still see between the gaps in the stakes. And as you peer through, you do see one lizard folk laying on the ground, sleeping in the sand. His spear is lying by his side, and an empty ale mug is in his right hand. Beyond this sleeping lizard folk is the back of the palace. You see a big closed wooden door, and that's the only feature on this back wall other than some windows on the second story.
With the saw, since I'm good with my hands,
Yeah.
how would there be any way to quickly saw some notches as if it was a ladder into the posts? So like little places where your hand can grab as I climb.
Yeah. So if you're going to do that, I'm going to have you give me a stealth check with advantage because this lizard folk is sleeping in a drunken stupor.
Okay.
Or sleight of hand.
Okay. 18.
18. So you're sawing basically a ladder, like little handholds into the.
As I climb up, and it's
Okay.
just you see it like a beaver, like
Cool.
just sawdust flying.
Okay. You successfully do this. The lizard folk who's lying on the ground kind of twitches, snores, turns over. Doesn't seem you don't
Every
seem
time
to
he
have
moves,
disturbed him.
I stop.
Nice. Yeah, you make it to the top undetected.
Okay. Are we doing this?
I guess. Are we gonna sneak past him or are we trying to kill him?
Oh, he'll get the slow death of the liver he deserves.
Okay.
So, Allison, are you're following Benny up this
Yeah, I'll follow
up this
Benny.
wall? Okay.
Mhm.
Violet and Barry also follow. It's probably like a 10-foot drop from the top of the fence down, not enough to give y'all any damage or anything. So you're dropping down onto the sand?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay. As y'all drop down, I'm going to have everyone give me one more stealth check with advantage.
Nat 20.
I got a 9.
9.
No.
So that is going to succeed. I found out that group stealth checks are half of the group or more has to pass. And
Interesting.
y'all did. So you drop down to the ground, kind of cushioned by the sand beneath you. Guard is still snoring. And he is all that is in between you and this door in the back of the palace.
Have we are we out of earshot of the guard?
No,
Yeah.
not at all.
Okay.
Wait, this guard is the one that's
Sleeping.
out.
This is the guard that's sleeping, yeah.
Yeah. I think we should sneak past, but then I really want to go help the guy before we start any more fires or anything. Like help him and then we can come back and save Bird.
Okay, I haven't seen this guy, so he must really need help.
Yes.
Okay.
Well, I don't know. Kind of. Just seems like the right thing to do.
Okay, I'll trust you.
Cool. So Interesting. Allison, give me. So y'all are trying to make your way to the tavern?
Yes. I don't know.
But he seems really apprehensive about this move.
We're right here. We're at the castle.
I feel like once we go in the castle, it's gonna be like we're gonna have to like get out fast.
That's fair. Yeah, we should go to the tavern while they're distracted.
Okay. Cool.
We can start another fire.
So Violet says, "Okay, I've been to Veluca a bunch of times. I can get us to the tavern. Follow me." And she kind of walks off to the right of y'all here. To the left side of the town from the front, basically. And finds this path. Are y'all following her?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Okay, cool. So she guides y'all down this street. Y'all are kind of sneaking. You walk down this street. It's quiet. It's probably like 9 p.m. The sun has just recently set. The sun's out for a while here. And the town is pretty quiet. Other than y'all do see smoke and flame, like the glow of smoke and flame from the other side of the city. So basically you're in the back of the city now. You lit like the front half of the left wall of the city on fire. And Violet leads y'all down. There is an intersection here. I'm going to say that it is in view of the palace. So basically you're coming up to an intersection of two roads. And from this intersection, there is a view from the palace. I'm going to say that you can either duck to the space between the houses and the fence, or you can stay on this path basically. What do you want to do?
I think we should go walk behind the houses.
I agree, except for there's gonna be people
Oh, the
probably
fire.
tending to the fire.
Yes.
Um,
Can I send Bax really quick to look
Yeah,
at behind the houses?
sure. Bax hurries over behind the houses. Allison, you kind of go blank. Bax hurries behind the houses, and he does see that like down towards the end of the town, there is a large section of the wall that's on fire, and he sees 5 lizard folk are desperately like trying to put water onto this fire. And he actually does recognize the 3 that were in the tavern are among the 5 that are putting water on the fire here.
Okay, I'll call him back.
Okay, he goes back.
We don't need to go to the tavern. I think it's all good now.
oh, really?
Yeah, the fire. It's a really good plan.
Ah, okay. If you think so. That's what you got from that.
Well, I'll explain. So there were the lizard folk were there, and then they were being awful to this guy, and then they went to the fire, and now they're trying to fix the fire. So there's no real reason to go to the tavern.
Okay,
I don't think.
sure. Do you want to go back to the where Bird is, or do you want to check on the guy?
I think it's fine.
Okay.
Violet, what's the best way to get into the palace?
I don't know. I've never been in the palace before.
Okay, I have an idea. And Benny licks an eyeball and says, Watch this. And he's gonna run to the front of the castle,
Okay.
and he's going to. Are there any guards there?
So, are you looking before you run, or are you just running out into the street? You're gonna look.
I'm running out into the street.
Oh, you are running out into the street.
Yes, I'm running to the front.
Cool. So there actually is only one lizard folk here now. One of them ran to tend to the fire. Barry and Violet and Allison are not here. Benny, you run out as a fat little lizard, 4 feet tall, and you do come across this lizard folk who is standing guard. He looks anxious, like he's like looking towards where the fire is and being like, "What the fuck?" And then you run up in front of him, and he looks at you and goes, "What the fuck?"
We need help. We need help. We are out of water. We need help over at the fire. It's spreading. You can see it, right?
Yeah, I can see it, but
see it.
Give me a deception check. I'm gonna say this.
Did the extra S give advantage or disadvantage?
So there are multiple things that you're deceiving this person with, right? You're deceiving with your disguise, as well as you're deceiving with the fire.
Yes.
A really good accent.
I'm going to say your disguise is bad because you don't look like a normal lizard folk. You're a very weird little creature
I'm
right
just
now.
a little portly.
I guess you could be a child lizard folk, but then again, I'm going to say give me a deception check.
Okay.
This guy is on alert, so he's going to make an insight check against it.
Okay.
Instead of you having to go against his passive.
I have +4 to deception. Here we go. That's a 12.
He says, "What the? I have to stay here. I have to guard the palace. One of the guards already. There's supposed to be 2 people here. One of them already went to help with the fire.
But you're the strongest, right? That's why they left you? That's why they sent me to replace you, because you're strong. They need the manpower.
Deception check with disadvantage."
Okay. That's a 12 again.
He says, "I am strong. You're not wrong about that. But what do you mean, replace me? You're not a guard."
Well, just keep an eye out. I'm the town crier. And I say, fire, fire!
He's going to say, "Oh, you know what? Nothing ever got done when people just sat on their hands and let other people do the job for them. You're right." And he takes off in a dead sprint for the fire.
Okay, I'll do your job for you.
Okay, just keep an eye out. Fat little boy. And he runs off towards the fire. Allison, I'll say that y'all were kind of watching. You see this lizard folk. You don't know what Benny said to him, but you see him take off towards the fire.
I'll walk up to Benny.
Barry, Violet, and Allison, Benny, have joined you in front of the palace. Now unguarded. Open entrance.
Benny, what did you do?
Never let me do that again.
Why?
That I don't know how he bought it. but he did, and we're gonna move on.
Awesome.
Cool.
Should have done the Trojan horse.
So are y'all gonna enter the palace?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay. You walk into the palace. You walk into this really dark hallway. Are you keeping the door open behind you, or are you closing it?
I think closing it.
Closing it. You close the door behind you, and even with the door open, the light only traveled so far into the hallway. With the door closed, devoid of light. Do either of you have dark vision?
Yes, I have 60 feet.
Okay.
I do not think I do.
Okay. Benny, you can't see anything. Barry and Violet can also see. So Barry, Violet, and Allison can all see. I'm going to say because of that, Allison, you can see a little bit further in. And I'm assuming that you're just helping Benny through this, right?
Yeah.
So you can see a little further in. The hallway. And immediately upon entrance, you take a step forward and you suddenly hear a creak. You look up and see that these haphazard wooden boards that make up the ceiling above you have come loose from the closing of the door and are falling towards you. Everyone give me a dexterity saving throw.
Oh.
Uh-oh.
$22.
9.
Okay.
Like in the nines tonight.
Benny, you are going to take 1 bludgeoning damage. As
Allison,
are
tell me if anything's going to hit me.
Ow!
1.
Yes, these boards also strike Barry and Violet. Allison is able to dodge out of the way. The boards clatter to the ground. Y'all all stand up. Allison, you can see to the left, there's a hallway. To the right, there's a hallway. And directly in front of you, there is a hallway. You can't see super far into it, but you can't see where these hallways end up, but you can see that those are the directions you can go in.
Sorry, I'm trying to see if I have anything that can help me.
Okay.
I have a lamp in my inventory.
You have a torch too.
Well, that says chest. I think I own it, but it's not on me because that's backpack.
Oh, if only you brought your torch from back home.
Can I light my lamp?
Yes, you can.
Okay, I'm gonna light it.
Okay.
I'm gonna when I get the flame, start the flame. I'm gonna hold it out and joke to everyone I'll light the lamp.
Yeah, Barry and Violet do flinch a little bit. So now, Benny, you can see as well. I'm going to say this lamp doesn't go any much
Sure.
further than you could already see, Allison.
Violet, do you have any ideas of where you think he would be kept?
Like I said, I've never been in the palace before, so I don't really know how they do things here.
He sounds like a pretty major criminal. Probably high security.
Who, Bird?
Yes.
Yeah, let's go with that. They probably are guarding him. I will admit to that. Yes.
Let's go to the left.
Sure.
Cool. Y'all walk left. What kind of shoes is everyone wearing?
Do you know those? Do you remember the really awful
Don't say
marching
the
band shoes?
Yeah.
Like the
Dress shoes, kinda?
kind of look like dress shoes, but they're made for marching.
Yes, I do.
Yeah.
That's what you're wearing.
That's what I'm wearing.
And Allison?
Seem just like classic, like Renaissance, like boot.
Boot? Okay.
Boot.
I'm going to say, Allison, you can be exempt from this. But Benny, as you walk through the hallway, now
With a
you can
straight
see
leg.
you're kind of taking in your surroundings. You stumble upon a shattered ale mug on the ground.
Oh my gosh.
Give me a dexterity saving throw once again.
Whoa. That's a 2.
Oh my god. Okay. Oh. Okay. Violet passes. Barry fails. Benny, you and Barry take 1 slashing damage from this shattered ale mug, and y'all continue on having.
It seems like the real curse of this town is alcohol.
Yeah, Barry nods to you solemnly and goes, clear mind, Benny, clear mind.
Razor sharp, brother.
Razor sharp. As y'all continue on, you come
And
to a doorway.
I pull out a razor sharp piece of glass from my foot.
Y'all come up to a doorway, and you kind of peer in. There doesn't appear to be anybody here. And you see this little bedroom. It seems to be where the guards sleep. It's very haphazard. Clothes are strewn everywhere. All the cots are unmade. But it is empty.
Can I change into the guards? You said there's clothes everywhere?
There are clothes everywhere. Yeah, it's like kind of leather armor and just like vagabond clothing kind
But
of.
it's not like a uniform.
No uniform.
Oh, okay. Okay, never mind.
Okay.
Is there any alcohol?
Give me an investigation check.
Allison's feeling a little wild. 16.
You don't find any. You get the sense that you do find empty bottles. You get the sense that they drink their alcohol. They're not really into leaving it around. But Allison, you do come across a stash of jewelry in a
Ooh.
bag.
I'll steal it.
Cool. You pick up this little bag of jewelry, and there's not much else in this room.
Do I see this?
Allison, are you
No.
doing this sneakily?
I want to do it sneakily.
Give me a sleight of hand check.
While she's stealing, me and Barry are looking at each other and just like
It's a 5.
we're just like pointing to our bodies. Just like we're so locked in.
A little bit beyond Barry, Benny, you catch Allison stuffing a little bag into her. I guess where do you hold things, Allison? Do you have a little backpack, little satchel?
Yeah, I think like a little like over the shoulder bag.
Yeah, you catch Allison trying to cram something into her bag.
Allie,
Yeah?
son,
Yeah.
what are you doing?
Oh, nothing.
What do you mean? That's not yours.
Well, it's probably not theirs.
Well, we don't know that.
We could use it for good things.
Okay,
These don't seem like good people.
I guess you're right. I was always told stealing was wrong. I guess I'll give them something in return.
If they stole it and then I stole it, then 2 wrongs make a...
Right. Okay.
I'll share.
What can I
Allison,
leave behind?
can I pull out a is there like a necklace or something?
Yeah, for sure.
I'm gonna go put it on Benny.
It doesn't fully fit around my head because I have such a large
It's like
hippo
a
head.
crown.
It's like a crown.
It looks great.
Yeah.
And, I blush and I say, okay.
Yeah, Benny, you have this like pretty nice little. What I feel like there's a character in fiction that wears something like that. Like it's a necklace, but it only goes around her head, and then it like
Yeah, it has
dangles.
like a little.
Yeah,
Yeah.
I don't know. You have that now. And y'all do notice that there is another doorway up at the top of the bedroom. Y'all could continue through, or you could double back. Up to y'all.
Also, I still look. I said like a hippo head, but I still look like a lizard.
Yeah.
I think should we keep going so we avoid the other stuff?
Yeah, you lead the way, you sneaky one.
All right. Allison puts more distance between herself and Benny and leads the way.
Allison kind of takes the lead here. And y'all head through this doorway. And the first thing you see is a staircase on the left. And the hallway continues into darkness up here, past the staircase. And there's just like a wooden wall to your right. So you're kind of in another hallway with just this staircase here.
Where do you want to go?
Do you think that they would keep a prisoner on the main floor?
I think the whole... I don't know. I think the prisoners could be anywhere.
I think we should... I think while we're at the stairs, let's go up and then come back down.
I agree.
Okay.
Cool.
You lead the way.
Okay.
Allison leads the way up the stairs.
Can I be actively like being cautious about where I step?
You
and, like,
can.
Can I step first?
Very good. You can. And you make it to the second floor.
Oh, I can see.
He wasn't supposed to be here. As you reach the top, you see that there's this hallway that leads you directly to another set of stairs on the other side. That set of stairs goes down. In the middle of the hallway, you see a closed door on the left wall with 2 lit torches on either side. Straight across from that door is another set of stairs that leads up into darkness. Allison, give me a perception check since you are looking.
Dirty 20.
You see that one of these steps seems a little faulty. If you just avoid it, then you should be fine.
Guys, don't step right here. Just got a bad feeling.
Benny's watching
Benny.
this little, like, dangly piece of jewelry cross-eyed as he
Allison
walks.
snaps in Benny's face.
Sorry,
Don't step there.
I think I hypnotized myself.
Yeah, it looked like it.
Okay. Huh! And he jumps over.
Okay.
Loud feet.
He jumps over. Where do y'all want to go?
Band shoes.
Binge.
I think we should check the whole level first before we go up or down.
Let's scope it out.
Let's scope it out.
Let's scope it out.
Let's scope it out.
Let's...
No.
Okay.
We just say that back and forth to each other while standing absolutely still.
Violet and Barry, as good NPCs, stand and just watch y'all and wait for you to move.
They're like in a video game, just kind of
Yeah.
like doing that idle motion, just waiting for us.
Could I Benny, why don't you guys go in this room? I'll send Bax, but then you have to wake me if you need me. But Bax can then go scope some of the floor level.
Okay, I think that makes sense. That'll save time.
Can I do that?
Yeah. Okay. So Allison, you're staying where you are, right?
Barry, why don't you carry her?
Okay. Yeah. I can
And
do
we
that.
can go check out this room while she's knocked out.
So Barry is carrying Allison. Barry says, "So you want me to go with you to check out the room while I carry Allison?"
Yeah, we'll check out the room,
Okay.
and she, as Bax, will check out the other.
Just shake me if you need me. Like a lot.
Okay. So we're gonna do just like another little Allison for Bax. I know I have a Bax image, but so we'll start with Bax. What is Bax doing?
I'm just gonna have him fly downstairs.
Downstairs?
Yeah, to scope that level a little bit more.
Okay. So to the other, did you have him go to the other side, or is he?
Yeah, the other stairs that we
Okay.
saw, not the ones that we came up.
Cool. He ends up these other stairs. Does
Yeah.
Bax have dark vision?
Yes, 60, same thing, 60 feet.
So Bax ends up
That's
back.
he has blind sight. I don't know what that is.
Interesting.
Blind sight of 10 feet. Do you know what that is?
I think there's darkness, and then there's
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
advanced darkness.
Advanced darkness allows a creature to perceive its surroundings without relying on sight, effectively seeing anything that isn't behind total cover, even in darkness or when blinded, and can detect invisible creatures unless they successfully hide.
That's 10 feet.
Interesting. Very interesting.
That's crazy.
How it works in combat. No disadvantage.
What's Bax's
Yeah.
passive perception?
I think it's a 13. 13.
Cool. So Bax goes down these stairs. And it's darkness to the left, darkness to the right, wooden wall in front. Where is Bax going?
I'll have him go right.
Right? Okay. And Bax is flying, right?
Yes.
Or is he walking?
Flying.
Okay. Goes to the right. Is met with just like, I'm assuming he'll continue down this hallway, like turn left once he reaches the end.
Mm-hmm.
Bax reaches like the corner of the palace, takes a left, continues down this hallway. God. He's down this hallway. Until is Bax actively looking for stuff? That is okay. Is he actually? You were. So yeah, I would say
I
you
think
were.
he has
so.
keen senses. It says like as a pseudo dragon.
Okay.
So like I think it makes sense that he would.
Cool.
But like I also
Then have
through
Bax give me a perception check,
Okay.
or I guess since you're looking through Bax, it'll be you.
Okay, that makes sense. 15.
15. A board from the side of the wall falls in towards Bax, but he manages to successfully get out of the way, having seen that it was coming.
Awesome.
And Bax continues. And give me another perception check as Bax continues down this hallway.
Another 15.
15 successfully sees that the ceiling boards are falling from the ceiling again, dodges out of the way. This whole palace seems very shoddily made. Now there are Bex can either continue going down the hallway he's going, or he can turn left into the center hallway. That seems to connect the back door to the front door. Bex is by the back door right now.
Okay. I'll have him go to the middle hallway, the center hallway.
Bex turns left. Starts heading down the hallway in the center. and comes across a doorway on his left. But he has successfully connected like the front door. He sees the front door now. But on his left is another door in the wall.
Okay, he'll turn.
He'll go into this door.
Mm-hmm.
Bax peers in. Doesn't seem to be anybody here. In fact, this looks like the weapon stash of the group, of like the palace. There are swords, axes, spears, all kind of stuck in the wood. It seems like they just kind of come here and just jam whatever weapons they have into the wood to hold their place.
Okay. I'll have Bax fly out and go back up through the center.
Okay.
And try and connect like from the front where we came in to the stairs. The back left corner.
Oh, so he's Bax is flying back up towards the back door?
Yes, and then turning left to keep going down that instead of going down the center.
And we're actually going to jump back up to y'all before we finish with that. So y'all are going to check out this room?
Yes.
Okay. Allison, you're not aware of this. This is happening simultaneously with what the exploration that Bax is doing downstairs. As you approach the door on the left, I'm going to have Benny, you give me a perception check. Violet and Barry will do the same.
$18.
Benny. You hear faint voices from inside.
Uh-oh.
You can't quite make them out, but they don't sound like they're coming from people inside this room. Instead, they sound like they're coming from a Magivision set.
Oh.
And you would know how Magivisions sound. So that's what you hear.
Benny is thinking that he's very surprised to hear a Magivision set and didn't even know if they were part of this. He doesn't even know if the world he's in is real. So he's gonna try to open the door.
Cool. And you reach for the door. Violet is gonna come up next to you and like help you open it quietly. So give me a stealth roll.
Okay.
With advantage since you're getting the help action from Violet.
Thank you, Violet.
Mm-hmm.
That's a 12.
12. You open the door as quietly as you can. You peer inside to see a Magivision set up across the room, like in the top corner of this room, the top right corner of this room.
Okay.
It's sloppily mounted on the wall. Up against the wall, across from the Magivision set, you can see the end of a bed and a pair of scaly feet that are propped up on some pillows. The rest of the body of this, you'd assume lizard folk, is hidden by like this jutting wall. Basically, the bed is tucked in like a nook of the room.
Okay.
The Magivision is up on the wall. The voices that you were hearing from the Magivision set suddenly stop, and a commercial starts. You recognize the voice narrating the commercial all too well. Hello, Sparkleworks fans!
Oh my god.
And you recognize it to be Yemop Fapplebit, the host of Chanam Wants You. And you hear from the bed a deep voice grumbles, "Oh, what the fuck? Weird time to go to commercial." And you hear Yemi's voice say, "Are you bored? Do you have no direction in life?" And Benny, you see the commercial cuts, to an image of a familiar face sitting at a table, crying softly into her hands. Give me a history check, Benny.
Oh, I really want this. So does Lenny. 17.
You remember this face to be Jayla Applefingers, the halfling girl that you met at Shanam 1CU auditions. The one who auditioned before Mavros, the first person to go in. And you also talked to her. I think Allison talked to her a little bit as in like the exit room. She was upset. The commercial continues. Yemi says, Well, do I have just the thing for you? Introducing, the commercial cuts to a close-up of Yemi's face, so tight that you can't see anything around him. Then the camera suddenly pans out. You can see an active construction site behind him. And Yemi says, Introducing Sparkle Land. And the construction site is in a big field of tall green grass. In the center of the construction site is this massive tree, the biggest tree you've ever seen. Give me another history check, Benny.
Okay. Oh my poor halfling sister. That's a 12.
You know this tree to be Vishvam, the world tree, considered a natural landmark in the most spiritual place in Shanam. People flock to the location to find themselves or just to feel one with nature. And Yemi says, That's right! We just made Vishvam. Exciting! And you hear a creak from the bed springs and a little huff. And you hear the voice of the lizard folk in the room say, Whatever. And the Magivision turns off. The feet swing off the bed. And now in full view, you see this massive lizard folk man. And he stretches. He hasn't seen you yet. But he gets up as if he's going to start walking towards the door. What do you want to do?
Oh my god. Those abs. I turn to Barry. I say, I think he's clear of mind.
Barry says, maybe we should move.
Okay. Okay. Let's run.
Okay, where are you going to
go? We're going to go to the right. Those stairs go up, right?
The stairs to the right do go up. Yeah.
Let's go upstairs, and I am looking at the stairs to see if there's any faulty ones.
Okay. We're gonna cut to Bax as Benny's group runs up the stairs. You want Bax to continue to go down this hallway to the left from the back door?
Yeah.
Cool. Bax is gonna go. Comes across a doorway on his left. And that seems to be the end of the hallway, and you've kind of connected these areas, but you haven't looked in this door on the left yet.
Okay, I'll fly in.
Well, Bax flies in, and finds himself in a disgusting little bathroom. Seems like it's never been cleaned.
Allison has to fight with whatever is Bax's internal spirit that wants to drink the toilet water. Just try and pull him away.
Yeah, as Bax gets closer and closer, you feel your will being no, because you're seeing and experiencing everything that he's experiencing. But Bax does pull himself away and fly back out of the bathroom.
Awesome.
Anywhere else you want to go?
I'll do just I'll fly back through the center, and then around, so from the entrance to the right.
Cool.
And then back up the stairs just to check the one hallway I didn't.
Yeah. Bax flies through into this room, to the right of the entrance, and Bax is now in what appears to be a room just full of junk. Broken stuff. This seems like maybe the place that they just throw things that they're not interested in anymore, or things that are broken. Kind of like a junk room. It's just piles of broken furniture, scraps of wood, anything you want Bax to do while he's in here.
No, I think I'll just have him fly back up.
Okay, Bax flies back up. I'll say this kind of happens simultaneously as y'all are running up the stairs. Bax rejoins y'all.
Perfect.
Bax is here. I'm gonna shake Allison awake. Allison, you were thrashing. You were saying no poopy water. No poopy water.
Well, why are we running? Where are we going?
There was a very, very physically fit lizard.
Let's go. Let's run.
Okay, y'all head up these stairs, and I will say that before, like, as you turn, well, are you looking where you're going, or are you just turning?
I think we just
I think we're running.
turning, yeah.
You turn in, and you see up these stairs into darkness, but you still see a lizard folk guard sitting next to this door. You see the lizard folk man sitting next to this door, in a chair, lightly dozing. Beside him appears to be a locked door. What do you want to do?
I think what were we running from? The big
guy. We gotta
guy.
go.
What if can we try and get him, like, what if I send Bax to start another fire?
I don't know if there's time. I think we gotta try to sneak past this guy. Maybe you could grab some keys off of him if he has any.
Okay.
If the door head is locked, I'm just kind of guessing it is.
I guess I'll try and sneak past him and try the door first.
Sure. I'm gonna say I said locked because it is like a latch. Okay. Well, it's like
okay.
I'm explaining why y'all know that it's locked, because it's like a latch with like a little padlock stopping the latch from going up. You know what I mean? So it appears locked. It's not like just a doorknob.
Sure. Is it a code?
Not a code. There is a keyhole in the padlock.
Okay. I don't know why that was funny to me. I'm gonna search that.
111.
Yeah, I was just thinking about the password being 111. I'm gonna search very carefully.
Cool. Give me a sleight of hand check as you kind of pat down this sleeping lizard folk.
Okay. And I do bardic.
Yes, you do.
That's a nat 1.
Oh no. All right.
Oh no.
You start like probing a little bit. You're getting close, and then
for someone who feels pretty stealthy, I'm doing a pretty bad job at stealing.
We've made it pretty far without any combat.
You kind of step through. You're like kind of poking around. You shift your weight from one foot to the other. One foot is on a lower step, one foot's on a higher step. You shift your weight. Your foot goes through. Loud crack. This guard wakes with a jolt. Goes, whoa. Looks at you. Everyone roll initiative.
15.
Nat 20.
Nice. There we go.
Perfect with your foot stuck in the
Yeah.
Allison, that's your turn. This guard has seen you, has not yelled or said anything yet. But you don't know where he's at in the initiative.
Sorry, I'm trying to decide if I should try and convince him or if it's doomed. I think we're doomed. I'm going to attack.
Cool.
I'm going to do my goal. I'm going to try and use my rapier, but I want to try and like slash across. It's kind of violent, but across his throat to try and minimize his ability to.
Okay.
Oh my God.
Give me an attack roll.
Okay.
Forgot you were Allison Chain.
Shoot. Oh wait, what's my is Bardic a D6 or D4?
Yeah.
D6. Is that worth using?
Probably.
Okay. 9.
9.
Probably not.
No.
You go for his
You
you
close.
go for his neck, and he kind of falls back in his chair, like surprised, leans back. Your rapier, you said rapier?
Yeah.
Your rapier swipes like over his face as he's leaning back. Chair clatters to the ground. He's like getting up onto his feet. That is anything else you want to do?
I have cunning action now.
Cool.
So, can I disengage?
Yes.
Actually, can I see what's here? I'll just stay. I'll stay.
Okay. That is Violet's turn. Violet is going to kind of take a step back, is going to reach out with her longbow, and is going to take a longbow attack at this lizard folk. Is going to hit and is going to do 7 piercing damage. So this arrow kind of sticks into the lizard folk's shoulder, and he goes, "Oh!" And that is going to be the lizard folk's turn.
Uh-oh.
He's going to yell, "What? Who are you? Who are you? Help!"
Shh.
And Hawked die. He is also going to stand up and is going to take a great club attack at you, Allison. Does a 12 hit?
No.
Swings at you. You dodge out of the way, smashes his great club into the ground. Wood splinters go everywhere. Benny, that's your turn.
Can I look and see if Beefy Boy is
Yes. Give me a perception check.
That's a 14. No, sorry, that's a 16.
You do hear loud footsteps approaching the doorway to his room. You would assume this is Graz, who Violet told you about
Right.
the night before.
I'm going to cast grease
Nice.
and grease the stairs behind us.
Cool. Yeah.
And then I'll say, Allison. Wow, 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 wow. And I don't have the saw. I'm trying to imitate the saw sound and giving her another bardic.
Cool. Allison has another bardic. So the stairs are greased. Anything else you want to do with your turn, Benny? Is that everything you can do?
I'm holding up my lantern. Or was I holding the lantern?
Allison was holding the
I
lantern.
was holding the lantern.
But there are
whoa, whoa,
torches
whoa.
here. You can see there are torches like down. There's light on this floor. I should have mentioned
Yes, but I want to prepare to light the stairs on fire if need be.
that. God.
Behind us?
Behind us. We better hope Bird is upstairs.
Okay, that is going to be Barry's turn. Barry is going to charge up to join you, Allison. And Barry is going to take a rapier attack at this guard and is going to hit and do 7 more damage. So he's going to stab into this guard's into like he's gonna stab at this guard's chest. The guard's gonna kind of dodge, and Barry's gonna get a glancing blow across the guard's chest. That is back up to Allison.
Okay.
Do you have sneak attack yet?
I do, but I get that when I have to have advantage on my attack to use
Do you
it,
not
right?
have that yet? Because Barry's within 5 feet of this lizard folk. That
Once per turn.
gives rogues advantage, I think. I'm not sure.
If at least one of your allies
Where's that?
is within 5 feet.
Oh, you don't need advantage on the attack. I see. That's cool.
Here you go.
Okay. So I get that extra D6
Barry
for my
likes
attack.
you. Barry's on your side. He's an ally.
Yeah, of course he is. Was I questioning that?
I don't know. Never mind.
Well, now Allison's insecure about berries.
Yeah, Benny is gaslighting Allison right now.
He said it just like that. Barry likes you.
Yeah, no voice anymore. Okay, I'll attack with my rapier again then.
Cool.
Shoot. I'm gonna use my bardic again.
Okay.
Oh hell yeah. 15.
15 hits.
Yay. So, then I also add a d6 for sneak attack. Ooh, 12 damage.
Damn.
Oh, wait,
So-
more than 12. Sorry. Because it's plus 3, so 15 damage.
Oh my god.
Wow.
Barry, as Barry like strikes this guard with his rapier, Allison, you sneak up behind, like using your newfound sneakiness that you were talking about, and you stab into this guard's back. And he arches back, howls in pain. And because you just hit him, anything else you want to do on your turn?
No.
Because you just hit him, he is going to like wildly turn around towards you, swing at you with his great club. And that is a 15 to hit.
That hits.
That is going to do 13 bludgeoning damage to
Ooh.
you, Allison.
Ow.
Big strike across the face. Benny, that's your turn.
Can I see if Beefy Boy is coming?
You do hear his footsteps still. You don't see him yet.
Okay. As soon as Allison got smacked with the club, I say, "Pass me the lantern." Sorry. Pass me the lantern.
Why?
I need it.
Why?
You're the pyromaniac. Just give me the lantern.
Okay, I toss him the lantern.
Okay, Benny, you have a lantern now.
Okay, I'm not using it yet. I'm going to cast.
Also, can we say grease for you is emptying your spit valve
That's awesome.
onto
Yes,
the
absolutely.
stairs? That
Yes.
bass clarinets don't have, but yours does.
We've specifically said that mine does
But
have.
yours
Yes, we do.
Um,
You need it.
so much saliva.
Yeah.
I'm going to. This is okay. This is something. I'm going to, as a lizard impulse,
Okay.
drop my tail. My tail is gonna fall off of my body. Listen
Okay,
up, DM.
okay.
Okay, ready?
Yeah.
My tail's gonna fall off my body. I'm going to take my hands and rub them together, and my tools, and I'm going to cast Cure Wounds on the tail and throw it at Allison and say, "Eat this."
What?
and it's let's call it tinkering.
I am going to say that this all hinges on whether or not lizard folk can lose their tails.
Okay, and
I'm going to look it up.
Okay.
Because it's bullshit, right? But I like the fact that you can imbue this tail with your cure wounds and then throw it.
Yes. And if you want to say yeah.
But
I
like it and it's fun. So if lizard folk can lose their tails, I'll say yes. If they can't, I'll say no.
Okay, that's valid.
We're looking it up. Yeah, Benny, I'm going to say no, but you can run up to Allison if you want.
I think I'm going to I'm trying to keep an eye on this guy.
Yeah.
See if he comes up the stairs.
I mean, these aren't long stairs.
Yeah.
You probably make it to me and back.
That's true.
Maybe not to her and back, but you could make it down.
I'm gonna give a bardic to I'm gonna go I'm gonna give a bardic to Violet.
Okay.
And I'm going to I'm standing right next to her. I kind of swish my little jewel back and forth. And I say, "Wow, wow, wow, wow."
Okay. Somehow she's inspired.
She's inspired. And then I'm going to prepare a reaction. I'm gonna not take my action this turn.
Okay.
That as soon as I'll hide it behind my back. But as soon as Meathead comes up the stairs and he's halfway up the stairs, then I will light him on fire.
Okay. Now that you say that, you do see from this room, from the doorway, Graz bursts out, locks eyes with you, Penny, and he sees Violet and Bax as well here. And he's gonna just let out this raw, and he's gonna sprint towards the stairs. You can use your reaction if you want.
Is he on the stairs?
Yes. I'm gonna say. Well, what does he do with grease?
What's that?
What does
Grease
he have
makes
to
it
do with grease?
difficult terrain, I believe.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. So he moves slower.
You can just click on grease on there. I'll tell you.
Grease. Non-flammable grease.
No
damn it.
way.
Why did I look it up?
That's
non-flammable
so
grease. Benny thinks that it's flammable.
Yeah.
Non-flammable grease covers the ground in a 10-foot square centered on a point within range. Turns it into difficult terrain.
Okay.
Okay,
And-
so
Yeah.
I'm
What does
going to
difficult
try
what does difficult terrain do though?
It's a dex save, or he is the prone.
or he has prone.
Oh shit. Okay. He's gonna make the dex save. He is not gonna care about the grease. He is gonna just go for it.
He's already lathered up anyways.
What's the dex save?
Spell save.
He got an nat 20.
Oh my god. The grease, it's only made him stronger.
So does he move slower, or is he just ignoring this?
Difficult terrain is half speed? Is that correct? Or no?
I'd believe you. So it's a 10-foot square.
Mm-hmm.
Yes.
It said? Okay. And is it like in the center of the stairs about?
My goal was to cover as much as the center of the stairs.
Okay. So he's like here. Graz, he steps on your well thought out trap of grease. Seems pretty unaffected. Looks at you, Benny, and he screams.
I'm so confident. I'm just like staring down. I have a little smirk on my face.
He screams, "I'm gonna crush your head like a watermelon." And then that is where we're gonna stop for now.
Oh my god.
We're 2 hours in. It had to
Yeah.
end.
That's crazy.
So that's our first mid-combat break. Y'all made it so far without combat. And we don't know we don't even know what's happening outside. Half the town could be burning down.
That's true.
It's getting hot. We can kind of feel it.
Cool. Thank everybody for listening. We have
Thank you.
a TikTok and an Instagram that you should follow at Blunder Dungeon Pod. We post fun clips there. There is also the YouTube. If you're listening on audio, we have a video version. Go check out the video version over there. You can see the maps and stuff.
Yeah, and YouTube watchers, I got a crown today. So tell me if you notice anything different. Any teeth look different? Leave it in the comments.
Yeah. In the comments, say what your perception check was on whether or not you noticed the crown.
Yep.
And then
real ones watched until I talked about my dental procedures.
Yes. And with that, we will stop for this week until next week, but we won't know what happens with this battle until the following week.
Oh no.
Oh wow.
I know.
Just cut back and Benny's head is just crushed.
Y'all are doing pretty well on this combat so far, I will say. So hopefully that continues.
But it's like a trick of the camera. Like, do you remember when spoiler for The Walking Dead? Do you remember when Glen, it looked like he died? And then because they were eating his, and he was under that, I don't remember where he was. But it looked like they were eating his guts, but it was the guy on top of him.
Yeah.
Right.
And so this guy, Groz, he's like, it cuts to the start of next time, and my head is just squished, but it's my tail that fell off.
Yeah, indeed. They also did a fake Glen death with the end of season, season bat thing. Yeah. Remember that? It went point of view, and what was his name? The villain?
Negan. But they shot around. They did a bunch of different people because you weren't supposed to know who it was, right?
Yes, but then it went point of view. He pointed somebody out, went that, but it wasn't Glen, and then he killed Glen anyway in the first episode. Yeah,
Glen was doomed.
Glen had a lot of near deaths and fake deaths.
Yeah,
and then a real death. R.I.P. Glen. That's the name of the episode. R.I.P. Glen.
R.I.P. Glen.
No.
And people are gonna be like,
Spoiler.
"Oh, what happens this?"
Yeah, who's Glen?
Who is Glen?
Appears in this episode and then dies. Bye, everyone. See you next time when we catch up with Knack, Mavros, and Gradient.
Goodbye.
Also in a sticky situation. I'll say that.
Are they?
Yes.
Lots of grease.
No grease yet.
Is this the greasiest episode so far?
This is the greasiest episode so far, yeah.
Okay.
Bye.
Bye.